Hey guys, it's Ryan again and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to do a quick review on this Harbor Freight 4x36 inch belt sander. So this unit's manufactured by Central Machinery. It's going to be item number 97181, and you can typically find these at your local Harbor Freight stores. Right now, the retail pricing on the machine is $74.99, and this is one of those machines you just want to keep an eye on. It goes on sale all the time. They have the parking lot sales, 3-day sales, and worst case scenario, if you need one right now, you can always grab one of those 20% off coupons. But just fair warning, as Harbor Freight has started producing some higher quality tools, they are getting a little stingy on that 20% off coupon. Be sure you read that fine print. This unit right here does qualify for it, but I don't want to see you go down to Harbor Freight and try to buy an item that's excluded and get up to the cash register and be disappointed. As of filming this video right now, if you look online, there's over 1,700 reviews, and the average rating for this unit is going to be 3.6 stars out of 5. Something that I like to do when purchasing a machine, I like to look online, and if you see over 500 reviews, then you can typically trust that whatever you're seeing in those reviews is going to be what you get out of the machine. And a lot of times you're going to find some tips and some pointers in there on how to overcome some of the negatives on the machine. Alright, so let's jump right into this video. Right now we're going to talk about some of the specs and details on this unit right here. And as I mentioned previously, this is the Harbor Freight 4-inch by 36-inch disc and belt sander combination. So let's talk about sizes really quick. 4 inches by 36 inches, that's going to be your horizontal belt size. Now the really good news about that is a standard size that you can find at most online stores, and even some of the big box stores have this on the shelf. Nothing's more frustrating than owning a machine that has some odd proprietary belt size and you just don't know what it is. When it comes to the disc portion, that's going to utilize a 6-inch sanding disc, and you can find those with adhesive already on the back of the disc. And if you want to save a little bit of money and you have some surplus sandpaper laying around, you can pick up a bottle of some 3M spray adhesive, spray that on the back of the sandpaper, or just put it right here on the faceplate and you're good to go. So let's talk about sandpaper. Right out of the box, as you would have guessed, the sandpaper is terrible. If you're eyeballing this machine, just plan the added expense of having to upgrade to some different grits sandpaper. The stuff's terrible. I won't go into detail on that. The belt portion of the machine, it's going to come in a horizontal position. And if you want to use it vertical, you just loosen up a bolt right here on the back side and you can flip this up, tighten that bolt, do your sanding, and then if you want to go back to a horizontal position, you can drop it right back down. Now the thing does have some dust collection ports on it, and we can talk about that in detail a little bit later in the video, but you'll notice one little port right down here on the disc portion, and when you have this in the vertical position, you're going to see they're hiding another dust collection port right down here at the bottom. Assembly, right out of the box, is going to be about 75% assembled. You're going to get the horrible instructions that you can't read, and that's going to come, the only thing that you need to assemble on the machine is going to be this little table right here and all the brackets and mounting it to the machine itself, and it's a total pain in the ass, just being honest with you, so be prepared to be frustrated with that. The overall construction, guys, is just cheap sheet metal. The only cast portion I'm seeing is down here where all the electronics are, so that's just something to be mindful of. And it also does have some really cheap plastic roller guides for the horizontal belt right here. Now let's talk about the motor. It does come with a 110 volt single phase 3/4 horsepower motor, and if you guys have done any research online, that's going to be one of the biggest complaints you see about this machine. Consumers are stating that it's very underpowered. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Cue the video. So as you can see, it does some basic sanding just fine, but as soon as you put a little extra pressure on it, you can stall the motor. So let's go ahead and talk about the pros and the cons of this particular item. And as you guys know, I'm a really big fan of certain Harbor Freight items, but I can't stress that enough, guys, certain items. Now, unfortunately for this particular machine right here, the list of cons is going to outweigh the pros. So let's go ahead and start with the cons. As I talked about earlier, it is definitely cheap sheet metal construction. So when you pull it out of the box and set it on your workbench, turn it on, you're going to notice a lot of vibration and rattling. So I would recommend figuring out a way to solid mount this to the surface. Although it does come with the 3/4 horsepower motor, as you saw earlier in the video, if you put just a little too much pressure on the belt, it's going to go ahead and stall that machine out. And let's talk about the plastic. All the plastic on the machine is cheap, it's brittle. Don't expect it to stand up to the test of time. If you're using it in any type of a production environment, just expect your employees are probably going to break that. And the dust collection, it's horrible on this machine. If you raise this up in the vertical position, you'll notice they do have a dust collection port right here on the bottom side. But when you drop it back down to the vertical position, they have it tucked in back here behind the motor. It's really hard to get a hose up in there and hooked onto it. And another thing I'll mention, it does have an odd-sized dust collection port. So depending on what type of system you have, whether it's a dedicated dust collection system or just a shop vac, you're going to have to find out what type of adapter you need to fit your particular machine. And the plastic port down here on the bottom of the disc sander, I tried it. It's laughable. It's embarrassing. And talking about cheap plastic, the thing does come with this little miter gauge. It's galvanized steel. It's not even a true T-square, like a T-bar. It fits in here really loose, and the plastic's brittle, so if you drop it one time, it's going to break. It's quite laughable. So yeah, that thing sucks. Sandpaper, talked about that earlier, right out the box. It's terrible. Make sure you buy some high-quality sandpaper if you're going to use the machine. Well, now that we've finished up bashing the machine, let's talk about some of the pros. It's cheap, and it qualifies for the 20% off coupon. It can be used 3 ways. You've got the disc portion. You could use it horizontally, and if you need to, flip it up and use it vertically. And the only other pro that I can come up with is if you have a very small workspace and you're limited on room, it is a very compact size, so you might find that that's a really good pro for you. And unfortunately, that's about all the pros I can give you for this particular machine, guys. Now let's just be real for 1 second, guys. Anytime you buy a new tool or a machine, remember something. It's your responsibility to understand what you need done, and can that machine do that? If you buy a machine and you push it past its limitations and the machine fails, you can't blame the manufacturer for that. So once again, go online, read reviews, watch video reviews like this one, call the manufacturer, let them know what you want to use the machine for, and see if that machine will stand up to the abuse you're going to put it through. So once again, Harbor Freight always gets a really bad rap for having crappy machinery, but again, it's all perspective. What are you using the machine for? That's just being fair and honest and giving you guys an unbiased opinion. Now I'm going to give you my overall opinion and thoughts on this particular unit. And keep in mind, I personally bought this machine. Harbor Freight did not pay me to review this. I'm going to give you an unbiased opinion of the machine, whether it's good or bad. So with that being said, does the machine work? Yeah, it absolutely does work. Would I recommend this for somebody to buy? At the end of the day, overall, I'm going to say 2 thumbs down. No, I would not recommend this machine. Now, with that being said, this machine does have a specific person for people out there, so I don't want to discourage you from buying the machine if you fall into one of the categories I'm going to talk about. If you're doing small crafts and you don't need a high horsepower machine, this would work great for that. If you are doing some turning with small wood bowls and you just need to deburr some of the parts, this machine would work great. If you're a pin turner and you're turning pin blanks and you just want to knock the edge off of a couple different pin blanks, this would work great. Or if you're just really confined to space, the machine would work great. But guys, overall, based on the cons and my time with the machine, unbiased, I wouldn't recommend this one. I would save up the money, go ahead and step up to the larger machine. They sell a, I believe it's a 6x48, comes with a big sheet metal stand. That's a much better unit. Now, like anything with Harbor Freight, that one does need some modification as well, but I'm telling you, save the money if you have the room. You won't be disappointed if you buy the much larger machine. And again, the price point on this one, it's not gonna make you miss this month's card payment. Very affordable. Well, there you have it, guys. That's my video review for the Harbor Freight 4x36-inch disc belt sanding combo. I really hope you at least got some entertainment out of the video, and at the end of the day, maybe it helped you decide whether or not this machine's the right fit for you and your shop. If you guys want to do me a really huge favor, just smash that like button. Go ahead. I'll wait for you. Only takes 1 second. In all honesty, I would love it if you guys subscribe to my channel as well. I work really hard to put out this content for you guys, and I'm going to keep new videos coming. My goal is to have one a week. So we'll catch you on the next video, guys.